Hi, welcome to my video on the product of the chords of the circle. Number one, we have a circle and it says the chords AB and the chords CF intersect at P. Right here it says prove that AP times PB equals FP times PC. So AB times PB equals PF times PC, the product of the chords. To do this proof, we have to join AC and FB to form a pair of triangles. And so what we're going to do in these triangles is prove the triangles are similar, and this proportion comes out of that with a cross product. So here we go. We got statements. Just write that in here. Statements and reasons when we do a proof. So we're going to, we're given the chords AB and CF intersect at P, and so that's the given. So now we'll join AC and FB. AC and FB will join those, and that's a construction between the 2 points, these chords. And as a result, I'm going to make this easier, I'm going to number angle A, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as a result, angle 1, is equal to angle 2, and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. So here's 1 and 2, and here's 3 and 4. And these angles are equal because these are two inscribed angles. Angle 1 is inscribed, made up of two chords and a common vertex on a circle. This is an inscribed angle made up of CF and FB, two chords with a vertex on a circle. So those two angles are equal, and these two angles are equal. This is an inscribed angle intercepting AF, and this is an inscribed angle ABF intercepting AF. So that's two inscribed angles intercepting the same arc. Inscribed angles intercepting the same arc are equal. And as a result, we have the triangle, which is ACP, is similar to triangle FBP. So ACP is similar to FBC. So A goes with F, C goes with B, A goes with F, C goes with B, and P goes with B. We could also say that this angle right here is equal to this one by vertically opposite angles there, because they're vertically opposite angles. But the inscribed angles suffice because we only need an AA, and that's based on the corresponding, or should I say, based on the definition of similar triangles. The definition of similar triangles, that is what we call another way to say it is the AA similarity. AA similarity. And number 5, we have AP over FP is equal to PC over PB. And that's corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. Or we could also say the definition of similar triangles. And as a result, cross multiply AP times PB equals FP times PC. And that's property of proportions. Property of proportions, you cross multiply. So we have the proof done. And just to relate that, if I take another circle and draw it here, and draw two chords intersecting, and I label this one as A and B, these lengths here. This one is C and D. So this is two chords intersecting. So that means A times B equals C times D, product of the chords. So let's do a proof based on that. No, let's do number 2, I should say, not a proof. We already did the proof. So we have two chords intersecting at this point. So that means we have 5 times x, this part of the chord, times this part. 5 times x equals 3 times 10. When you multiply that, you get 5x equals 30. Divide by 5, x is 6. So we put 6 here. 3 times 10 is 30. 5 times 6 is 30. So x is 6, the product of the chords. And we have another one. Again, we have chords that are intersecting here. So the product of the chords is 4 times x plus 4 equals x plus 7 times x minus 2. Or I could reverse it. I could put this pair first and this pair second. So we have 4x plus 16. 4 is multiplied by x and 4. And we have the FOIL on this first, x squared outside, negative 2x inside, 7x. And last is negative 14. So that gives us 4x plus 16 equals x squared plus 5x minus 14. So I tidied up these two terms here. Now, rather than move the x squared over here, I'm going to let it be 0 here and move the 4x to the right and move the 16 to the right, changing the signs. So I have x squared plus x minus 30. That's a quadratic, so let's see if we can factor it or use the quadratic formula. The product is right here, negative 30. The sum is in the middle, 1. Remember, this is a 1, so it's easy to do. This is the product and this is the sum when the A is 1. So what's the factors of 30? 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. So which pair have a product of 30? All of them have a product of 30. The product is negative, so they got to be plus or minus. And the sum is 1. So one of them got to be plus and one of them got to be minus. That means they differ. So they differ by 1. No, that's a 29. That's a 13. And that's a 7 right here. So the factors must be a negative is the positive 1, so it's a negative 5 plus 6. So it's x minus 5 plus 6. Check. Multiply negative 5 and 6 to get negative 30. Add negative 5 and 6, you get a 1. So that means x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 6 equals 0. X is 5, or x is negative 6. So we check 2 possible answers, but when you put 6 here, you'll get, negative 6 here, you get a negative 8, and you can't have a negative. So once one part becomes negative, you can't use it. If you put it right here, you get a negative 2. If you put it here, you get a plus 1, but this becomes negative and this becomes negative. So 5 is the value of x. So I should have said find x. So x is 5. X is the value we're trying to find. And if you want, you could check it back and say, if x is 5, that means that 5 plus 7 is 12. X is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 5 minus 2 is 3. So let's check. We have 3 times 12 equals 3 times 12, 4 times 9. 36 equals 36. So 5 is the correct answer, just as a check. And one more to do on the product of the chords, but we made the diagram different using more math. Let's see. O is the center of the circle. AE is perpendicular to HF. So AE is perpendicular to HF. That's a right angle right here and a right angle here. Perpendicular lines form right angles, making 90 degrees. AB is a chord. This is a chord passing through the center of the circle. So that means AB is a diameter. And AO is 5x. OE is x plus 3. And HE is x plus 2. And EB is x. So we have to find the radius of this circle, which is OF or OB, and we have to find the measure of the angle OFB. OFB, so we're trying to find what the measure of the angle F. So, how do we go about doing it? Well, what we have is that the AE is, we have AE is add 5x, add on x plus 3, so AE is 6x plus 3. And we have a right angle perpendicular line, so if a line is drawn from the center of the circle perpendicular to a chord, then it bisects the chord. So that means that HE is equal to FE. So that means that FE is x plus 2. It bisects the chord. So that means that we have AE times EB is equal to HE times HE, the product of the chords. So that means that we have AE is 6x, we said 6x plus 3. EB is x. HE is x plus 2. And HE is x plus 2. And I got E, that should be an EFE. Just a little mistake there. I always make those little tiny mistakes. So the product of the chords, that's an FE, which is x plus 2 also. So EH and EF are multiplied. And that gives us 6x squared plus 3x. Do the FOIL on this, we get an x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4. And that gives us 6x squared plus 3x equals x squared plus 4x plus 4. So we have a quadratic. We'll move all terms to the left side, and I'll do them in descending order. So x squared moves to the left, become negative. 4x moves to the left, become negative. And 4 moves to the left, become negative. That gives us 5x squared plus 3x. 5x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals, let's see what we have. No, 5x squared. That's a minus. Again, you got to be careful. Not being careful. 6 minus 1 is 5. Plus 3 minus 4 is negative 1. That's a negative. 1 right here. Minus 4 equals 0. Now what we have is, we have a product of, this time, because this is not 1, the product is A times C. So A is 5. C is negative 4, so the product is negative 20. And the sum is in the middle, which is negative 1. So the factors of 20 are 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. And what factors of 20 give you a 1? Man, we got a minus, so it has to be a plus and a minus. So that's a 19 plus or minus. That's an 8 plus or minus. So it has to be 4 and 5 to give you the 1. And it has to be negative 1, so it's a positive 4 and a minus 5 are the factors. So we take the positive 4 and the minus 5. So when you add these up, you get a negative 1. So we replace the negative 1x with a plus 4 and a minus 5. So add the two of these up, negative 1. Now we do grouping. So we take the x out of the first two. We get a 5x plus 4. We take the negative 1 out of the next two. We get a 5x plus 4. Notice the two binomials are the same, so we'll go 5x plus 4. Take that out of here, and we get x. Take it out of this term, this right here, we get a minus 1. So that means we have 5x plus 4 equals 0, or x minus 1 equals 0. So 5x equals negative 4. X is negative 4 over 5. And right here, x is 1. So, which ones fit? If we take the x is negative 4/5, and xbe is x. So be is negative 4/5, so we can't use that negative. That means we're going to use the 1. So if we use the 1, that means 5x is 5 times 1 is 5. So that means that AO is 5. And that means that OE is x plus 3. So 1 plus, make that a 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. And we get EF is x plus 2. So that makes it 1 plus 2 is 3. So what we have is, we have an O and an F and an E with a right angle. So we have OE is 4 and EF, which is here in this diagram, x plus 2, so that's a 3. So we want to find OF. So the radius is OF. Let's see what OF is. We have a right triangle, so we have c squared is a squared plus b squared. So we call this a y. So we have y squared is 4 squared plus 3 squared. Y squared is 16 and 9 when you square the 3 and the 4. So y squared is 25. So y is plus or minus the square root of 25. So y is plus or minus 5. And we have y is, so the radius is 5, positive. Now, it says we need to find the measure of the angle. So this side is 5. Now, to get the angle, I have to use the trig. So SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan is opposite over adjacent. So I can use any one of these numbers. So let's use the 4 and the 3. So the tan of angle F, tan is opposite over adjacent, and the opposite is the 4 over the adjacent, which is 3. So to get angle F, I have to go tan to the -1 on 4 over 3. And if you pick up your calculator and you do the tan, inverse tan, I'll do the inverse tan. Turn on my calculator. Okay. And I'll do second function, inverse tan. So there's tan to the -1 of 4 division 3. Enclose that in a bracket. And I'll get 53.13. 53.13. And we want angle F, it says to the nearest tenth, so it's 53.1 degrees. So, again, a little different problem, but using all the math, or a lot of the math that we learned before. That brings us to the end of the video, and if you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, you want to be a subscriber, and visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video will help you. Bye-bye.